Good morning and welcome. Good morning, graduates, and good morning, Cal Poly family. Welcome to Cal Poly's spring commencement ceremony. My name is Dr. Keith Humphrey, and it is my privilege as Vice President for Student Affairs to preside over today's ceremony. Commencement is a day that brings me great joy. We are together this morning to celebrate the achievements of our students, and we are proud of what all of you have accomplished at Cal Poly. It is my pleasure to present Cal Poly's Wind Orchestra, led by conductor Andy McMahon. Soloist Alexis Rubel from the College of Liberal Arts will be singing our national anthem. ROTC cadets of Cal Poly's Military Science Department, led by Cadet Battalion Heather McBurney, under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Josh Gillen, will post the colors. Please rise and remain standing if you are able until the color guard has exited the field. Please post the colors. Please be seated. Before we move to our celebration, we also must share in a brief moment of sorrow. As a Cal Poly community, we learned yesterday that freshman Keegan Langhoff from the College of Architecture and Environmental Design passed away in a car accident while traveling home. Please join me in a moment of silence honoring our lost Mustang. Thank you. We do, though, have so many reasons to be very proud today. As a university, we are conferring more than 4,200 degrees upon very deserving scholars. Yeah, how about that? It's fantastic. Each of our students has worked very hard, and encouraging them at each and every step of the way has been our very talented and dedicated faculty and staff. So please join me in a round of applause for our amazing faculty and staff. Also with us today are the many parents, brothers, sisters, spouses, and other family members and friends who had to put up with you when you were in elementary school and acted like you knew everything. Well, today is your day. You can celebrate today. As a Cal Poly graduate, you indeed do know everything. But tomorrow, as for tomorrow, let's just say there's a lot more learned by doing in your future. Graduates, from wow to now, we have all had a great deal invested in your success. You like that, don't you? That's pretty awesome, huh? Thank you. Who loves wow? I love wow. You are expected to enter the world poised to make a difference in your professions and through service to your communities. During your time in San Luis Obispo, you have improved this community. We are confident about the contributions you will make to improve the world around you. A few of you have prepared to serve in the most unselfish way of all. This weekend, we are graduating 9 students who will be commissioned as second lieutenants in the United States Army. We cannot thank you enough for your willingness to serve our country, and we are indebted to all who have served in our military. And I ask that all active duty servicemen and women and veterans in our audience today to please stand or wave your hand so you may be recognized for our service to our country. Thank you. Following traditions begun in the great universities of medieval times, we are assembled to welcome these graduates into the company of educated individuals. It is a time when we can share in their pride and look with them towards the future. Joining me on the stage are members of the President's Party, led by our own President, Jeffrey D. Armstrong. Honorees, special guests, and individuals invited to address the graduates will be introduced later in the program. Other members of the Platform Party with us here today are Kelsey Brewer, Student Trustee, Dawn Theodora, University Legal Counsel, Michael Miller, Vice Provost and Chief Information Officer, and Chip Appel, Grand Marshal. Now it is my pleasure to introduce you to Cal Poly's Student Body President, Joy Sullivan. One of the best parts of my role on campus is that I get to work closely with our student leaders, and no one more so than our Student Body President. As your president, Joy has brought thoughtful and purposeful leadership and advocacy on behalf of students to many difficult conversations. She has did it all with her trademark smile that lights up any room that she is in. I want to thank you, Joy, on behalf of the entire campus community for your service. Along the way, you have taught all of us many things, even if that wasn't your goal. We are grateful for you. Graduates, please join me in welcoming, for the last time as your president, Joy Sullivan.
morning to the friends, supporters, and family members who are with us today. And to the class of 2015, congratulations. I consider it an honor to be here with you today to celebrate this momentous achievement. But I find it a little funny that I get to speak at an occasion such as this. It's as if I'm supposed to have some life-changing, Dumbledore-esque wisdom to impart upon you all, despite the fact that we are generally the same age. However, there is one lesson that I have learned during my Cal Poly journey that I would like to pass on before you depart from this great university, and that is the value of failure. Think about the fact that during your time here, Cal Poly has been teaching you how to fail. At least according to society's definition of it. You see, we all define failure in slightly different ways. For some, failure is getting a C on a test, while for others, you were just happy to have answered all of the questions. Society says failure is anything short of immediate, unhindered perfection. But that is the beautiful part of failure. It isn't about how society defines it. Failure is about how you define it, and more importantly, how you move forward from its paralyzing grasp. Regardless of how you define it, you will experience failure at some point in your life. But Cal Poly has not left you unprepared to meet this challenge. I believe that within the motto of learn by doing lies the implicit pedagogy of learn by failing. If you're anything like me, when you think back to the learn by doing experiences that you have had, you will remember learning about how things are supposed to work from your professors during lecture, and then learning about how things can go incredibly wrong by actually trying them yourself. And that's okay, because we learn far more from our failures than we ever will our successes. Your diploma, the one you will get today, signifies much more than specialized knowledge in a given field. It illustrates your experience with the defeat of failure and your capacity to overcome. It is Cal Poly's desire for all of its students to be lifelong learners. And to accomplish this goal, we must be lifelong failers, not failures, for we must never be complacent when we fall short of our goals, but failers, individuals who unabashedly strive to achieve that which has yet to be achieved, ignoring the reality that we may fall short a time or two. So, to the class of 2015, may you encounter failure in everything that you do, and may it never extinguish your willingness to overcome the inevitable obstacles that will hinder your path as you strive to achieve the unimaginable. Congratulations, you did it.
Thank you, Joy. Now, please welcome Dr. Gary Laver, Chair of Cal Poly's Academic Senate, who will speak to you on behalf of our outstanding faculty. Dr. Laver.
Good morning, everyone. No doubt there have been and will be many other joyous events in your lives, but what a special occasion this is. Particularly so because of the unique mixture of family, friends, and faculty and staff mentors, all of whom gather to celebrate not just hard work and accomplishment, but accomplishment in the pursuit of an education. Graduates, you have all worked hard, very hard, and I want to extend to you the respect and praise you deserve. But there are other thoughts I'd like to share with you, matters a bit more sober. Forgive me for using that word. Later in the ceremony, graduates, President Armstrong will refer to responsibilities associated with the degrees conferred upon you today. With this special audience as witness, I'd like to elaborate on that idea by giving you a charge. My charge is that from this point forward, you lead a life committed to the responsibility of giving back to others. And I would suggest you target your efforts in 3 important ways. First, I would urge you to give back to the family and friends who supported you through your years as a student. The effort you have put in inevitably came with the support of people who were rooting for you, who had your back emotionally and materially. By all means, show them your appreciation. Let them know how grateful you are, always. Next, I would urge you to give back to Cal Poly. You are the privileged recipients of a top-drawer education. To receive a Cal Poly education is to go forward in life with an expanded mind and a remarkable skill set. These are not only the result of your hard work, but also of the hard work and dedication of Cal Poly's faculty. Whenever you're ready, and in whatever manner is appropriate for you, it is important that you give back to the institution that has given you such a strong foundation. And in doing so, you'll also pay forward to those who will follow in your footsteps. Finally, and perhaps most critically, I charge you all with giving back to the world. As you are no doubt aware, humanity is in a precarious state. We soil our own nest, we mistreat one another, we squander or hoard resources that could easily be used to support one another. But you graduates, are just what the world has been waiting for. Your education has placed you among the most understanding, most skilled, most prepared group of people imaginable to go forth and deal with the world's technical and humanitarian problems. Earlier, I acknowledged the hard work all of you have put in, and I'll do so again now. But if you think the hard work is over, think again. Along with the privilege of a Cal Poly education comes the charge of using that education benevolently, of putting it to proper use in the improvement of the human condition. Your responsibility as stewards of the planet begins today. Your role as your brother's keeper, as your sister's keeper, begins today. I congratulate you on what you have accomplished and wish you luck in using that accomplishment toward honorable purposes. All the best.
Thank you very much, Dr. Laver. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you, graduates, your president, Dr. Jeffrey D. Armstrong.
Thank you, and congratulations, graduates. Every year at these ceremonies, the president of Cal Poly has the privilege and honor of recognizing various individuals and groups for their contributions to Cal Poly. Cal Poly's faculty is central to our educational mission. These individuals serve with outstanding qualifications and deep dedication to excellence in teaching, research, and service. This year, the Distinguished Teaching Award Committee and the Distinguished Scholarship Award Committee of the Academic Senate selected 6 recipients to be recognized for their exceptional ability as educators. The Cal Poly Alumni Association, representing over 175,000 alumni nation and worldwide, joins the Academic Senate in recognizing these distinguished teachers and celebrating the key role our faculty members play in preparing students for success in life. One of the recipients of the Distinguished Teaching Award is Sandra Stannard, Professor of Architecture in the College of Architecture and Environmental Design. She will be individually recognized in the post-commencement college and department ceremonies. Please join me in extending our congratulations to Dr. Stannard and all the recipients. It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, a good friend and a good friend to Cal Poly, Blake Irving. Blake Irving is the CEO and board director of GoDaddy. Mr. Irving manages and oversees the largest domain name provider and web host organization in the world. It's safe to say that everyone in the audience today has been influenced and benefited in some way by Mr. Irving's work. Blake has been pivotal in helping over 200 million small independent businesses grow and thrive in their online and digital presence. As a forerunner and pioneer of technological innovation, Mr. Irving started his career over 30 years ago at Xerox and worked as executive vice president of Yahoo in various roles at Microsoft. And he is a local. He lives in San Luis Obispo. I would also tell you it's appropriate that he speaks to these colleges, as last year, GoDaddy, through Blake's leadership, provided scholarship and travel support for almost 100 women engineers to attend the Grace Hopper Conference. So I know some of the students want to join me in thanking him for that. We are thrilled to have Mr. Irving speak to us today to inspire us as our keynote speaker. Please join me in welcoming Blake Irving.
All right, let's just get a couple things out of the way first. Just do a selfie here. Man, I'm so bad at selfies. So horrible. Now, I'm also going to dispense with the cap, which I know most of you will do shortly. And I'm not saying all of you, but I'm just saying some of you, I swear I saw you at Bull's Tavern on my way over here this morning. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Probably not. All right. Thanks, President Armstrong. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, family. Thanks, students, for all you've done to get to here. Now, like many commencement speakers before me, you know, I toiled over what pithy message to deliver that might ring true as you take those next steps, that next phase of your life. You know, as a graduation commencement speaker, you're supposed to impart some few nuggets of wisdom that cause you all to, the collective you, to reflect on your own personal road ahead. My job today is to light the fuse that will send each of you off like a skyrocket. So what was the age-old and strikingly sage advice that sprang to my mind? Nothing. Nope, nothing. I was a completely empty vessel. But you know, sometimes when you're on the edge of sleep and awake, and you have this moment of lucidity that causes you to bolt upright and scratch down your thoughts, that didn't happen either. There's a near infinite list of deep thoughts I could share with you about what you should do with your lives. But long ago, you set the course and speed of what you'll be doing after today. Words for me, however salient on what you should do with your lives, would simply come too late. That ship has sailed long ago. For many of you, however, the question of who you will be in life is still not answered. This morning, I want to contrast for you the value of who you are versus what you are. And I want to impress upon you just how wrong our priorities are between those two things, and how much that contrast in value can or has already affected your life. Now, I can't help but notice on a day like today that we as a people tend to celebrate life events marking what we are, but rarely, if ever, do we celebrate who we are, when in fact, who is way more important. Think about this just for a minute. We celebrate graduations from college, high school, junior high school, elementary school, and I even know parents who are going to kindergarten and preschool graduation ceremonies giddy about the transition that their 4 or 5-year-old is making into the next what their children are going to become, an elementary school student. We celebrate birthdays, weddings, promotions, victories, retirements, and inaugurations. We celebrate the passing of a phase or an accomplishment that places you in a new category of what you are. But we don't celebrate who. And the only place that I've seen who's celebrated, and I mean really celebrated, where human qualities like courage, empathy, perseverance, caring, or sense of humor are at a funeral or a retirement party, both of which are a little too late to really matter. As I stand here today, we've gathered to celebrate an achievement that places you in a whole new demographic. The next time you're filling out an application for a job, a credit card, a home loan, a car loan, or the census for that matter, you can check a box that says college graduate or postgraduate degree. Now, I don't mean in any way to trivialize the accomplishment of graduating from this outstanding institution. As a local, I know that graduating from Cal Poly is a huge triumph, and it's difficult, and a lot of folks, frankly, don't make it. And I want to acknowledge the massive work it took to get here and to complete your programs. I know you've worked your ass off to get a seat in those chairs today. I know intimately the sacrifices you've made. I've made them myself. And each of you have great cause to celebrate. But I don't want the following to be lost on any of you. This new category of what you are, the holder of a degree from a prestigious institution, has vastly less importance and bearing on your future than who you are as a person. Who you are is what drove you to reach this event, this outcome. Who you are is how you're going to accomplish the rest of your life. Who you are is the thing that really matters. It's the thing that will drive your next life event, your next what? Now, when you're in a society that to all outward appearances values what's in life more than whose, early decisions at macro levels are pretty easy to make. College student. That was pretty easy. The value that you and society place as a whole on being a college student was in harmony. College graduate. This one is easy too. The value to you and society is harmonious. The what in achieving a degree didn't stand in sharp contrast with society's opinion of value. Though your challenges at Cal Poly have undoubtedly been daunting at times, your choices, all in all, just saying, have been easy. From here on out, from this day forward, it gets a lot harder. From here, it gets personal. From here, choices won't be so clear. From here, life will come at you like a whirling dervish, all fists and elbows. Over time, the choices of who you will be will write the story of you in an ink far more indelible than the calligraphy on the diplomas you're going to hold at the end of the day. If who you are as a person has been trivial up until today, it won't be when you wake up tomorrow. Now, I worry that many of you will get caught up in a vortex of what decisions and only discover who you are retrospectively, only after you've become someone you may not recognize, someone you don't like, someone you're not proud of, or someone as deserving as you are today. And that's a totally legit worry. I've seen it. I've seen it happen in business many, many times. And unfortunately, it happens so often that the odds against you are staggering. You've been training for what's, practicing for what's, collecting ribbons, trophies, plaques, and diplomas for the what's of your life at a steady pace. It's what you know, to abuse the pun. But if you continue to go through life focused primarily on what you want to be versus who you want to be, you'll find yourself on a road traveling farther and further away from happiness. And happiness matters. So where are you now? Have you had that courageous conversation with yourself about who you are and what you ought to be doing because of it? If not, you're in kind of a scary place right now. It's another crossroads of sorts, but unfortunately, one with no simple roadmap to your next decision. The degrees of freedom are vast, and you're going to have to make some decisions without the benefit of harmonious societal affirmation for the path you'll choose. To be truly happy, the decisions you make from here on out had better be built around who you are and not what you think is valued.
And you know, as a society, we haven't prepared you to think like this. So best of luck with that. Thank you, and good day. No, I'm just kidding. There's more. There's more. All right, it's not all gloom and doom and despair. The first bit of good news is that this idea of who versus what decisions is not a hard concept to get your head around. I'm going to give you a personal example of what I mean. All right, so like you guys, I made a what-based decision out of high school to go to college. I decided to study business because it was sort of what was expected of me to pick a path of success for me. After just one semester in business school, where I was failing some classes and pretty much hating the classes I wasn't failing, I made a who-based decision that was an extremely tough decision for me. I know this is hard to say in a group of engineers, I became a fine arts major. You know, I loved art and design and had always been pretty good at it, but come on, art? My father and grandfather, who were both attorneys, were not happy with me and couldn't believe I would do this. This was about me uniquely, and it actually broke their concept what I was even in college for. In fact, my father didn't know what I was anymore. You're going to college to become an artist? You're throwing your life away, you know, that kind of thing. It was an extremely uncomfortable time for me. But business school was a lie and art was the truth, and that was who I was. And ultimately, that decision was so freaking right. From that single decision and some lucky twists and turns, I ended up at Xerox designing and digitizing some of the first typefaces for computers and laser printers while I was still an undergrad, obtaining my fine arts degree. I was passionate about it. I was truly passionate about it. My father and my grandfather couldn't believe I was working somewhere other than a restaurant, a convenience store, or a Renaissance fair, where an artist would most likely be working. You know, a cascading set of decisions that in retrospect seem pretty logical, who-based decisions, led me to design systems that created typographic software, to build a business that made money in the creation of typographic software, to win the Xerox Chairman Award for Innovation, and finally led me back to school where I did get an MBA. And this time around in business school, I found a new passion for business that wasn't in me as an undergrad. I just didn't have it when I was younger. I still can't tell you what changed in me or my environment, but in grad school, I found more of myself than I had even in art in my undergrad. That discovery drove me into a deeper career in software development at Microsoft and then Yahoo, and I was very fortunate to work with people that I love to build products that change the lives of millions of people around the world. I mean, just by doing what was right for me and what I loved. I'm as passionate about life-changing technology today as I was when I was in just about art in my youth, and I honestly consider, you know, technology an art of its own. And you know, it's crazy. I'm now the CEO of GoDaddy, world's largest platform for small business. We bring, I don't know, in nearly $2 billion in revenue annually, serve more than 13 million small business customers in 37 countries, and use technology to fuel the passions and ideas of people around the world to start and run their own ventures. No, it's an incredible charge, and it's a blast, and I'm in heaven doing it. We went public just 2 months ago, and I was on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange launching the company, and it was surreal. Now, as wacky and ridiculous as it sounds, and what my father now understands, is that if I wouldn't have had the courage to make a who-based decision to be an art major in college, I wouldn't be the CEO of GoDaddy today, and none of that would have happened. All of this because I was lucky enough to make a who-based decision very early. All because I had a very scary conversation with myself about who I am and what I wanted to do because of it. I could have made that decision later on, but I might have had so much invested in what-based decisions that I wouldn't have been able to divest. I'm not telling you that I completely cast aside what-based decisions. Nobody does that. What I'm saying is that answering the who I am question actually drove my what. And that is what I hope you can all take away from this monologue. There are obvious times in life where you have the ability to pause and take an introspective look at who you are and what path you might take because of it. You are there right now, and I suggest you take advantage of it. That robe and mortarboard you are wearing are signals that you are at a crossroads. Not every crossroads comes with a robe and a mortarboard. So you're going to have to look a little harder for your next one. Through my career, I've had one-on-one conversations about their careers on a weekly basis. Most of these folks have a what-based endpoint in mind when they're talking. It's usually the next big job they've conjured in their head that they're supposed to have in their career. These folks ask me what the key is to building their career. What's the next thing they ought to be doing? And I usually frustrate the living hell out of them by answering with questions. What are you passionate about? What sends you springing out of bed in the morning? What is it that brings out the best in you? What is it that inspires you? What do you want to do for the world? What would you do if money was no constraint? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be? Think about these questions. The answer to these questions are all about who you are and may help you discover what you want to be and what your next step should look like. Even if the interim step is Bowles Tavern. So today, you're here to celebrate one of the great whats of our society and your life. You are the 2015 graduating class of Cal Poly, and that is a huge deal, one worthy of praise and celebration. I congratulate you on this enormous accomplishment. But please do me this one favor before you and your families leave town, before you start your career, before you start driving to your next what, before retirement, and please, before you're eulogized. Please, please celebrate who you are and weigh it with greater importance than what you are. Celebrate your courage. Celebrate your perseverance, your wit, your empathy, your intelligence, your caring. Celebrate your passion. Celebrate your sense of humor through all of that, and celebrate your unrelenting drive that made this day possible. I celebrate each and every one of you. Congratulations, class of 2015, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Irving, for those fantastic and inspiring words for our students. They are truly lucky to have heard from you on this special day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, in addition to that fabulous bowel, Cal Poly's acting provost and dean of the College of Science and Math, Dr. Phil Bailey.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, guess where we are in this ceremony? It is now time to confer degrees on these candidates for graduation. President Armstrong, our faculty is certified. The candidates before you have met the requirements for the degrees in their respective disciplines and have earned the rights and privileges that accompany that distinction. I want to start out with some of the honors that we give to graduates. We'll start with master's degrees. The college deans have recommended that master's degree candidates who have achieved high grade point averages graduate with distinction. Could I ask those master's degree candidates graduating with distinction to please stand or wave your hand? Thank you. You may be seated. Now I'm pleased to recognize undergraduate students who are graduating with honors. Graduates with grade point averages from 3.5 to 3.7 are designated cum laude. Graduates with this honor, please stand or wave your hand to be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Graduates with grade point averages of 3.7 to 3.85 are designated magna cum laude. Graduates with this honor, please stand or wave your hand to be recognized. Thank you. Graduates with grade point averages above 3.85 are designated summa cum laude. Graduates with this honor, please stand or wave your hand. You'll notice that all the honors graduates are wearing gold honor cords. Honors graduates, congratulations on your outstanding achievement. Cal Poly also recognizes outstanding seniors from each college for academic excellence, contribution to their college, service to the university, and service to the community. I invite you to look at page 11 of your commencement program where these individuals are listed. At this time, with the following academic excellence awardees and outstanding thesis awardee, please stand and come to the forward on the stage to be recognized. That's you. That's all of you. They're pretty sharp, but so I'd like to start out with young women graduating with a master's degree in electrical engineering. Danielle Nishida has the Outstanding Graduate Thesis Award. Danielle. The College of Architecture and Environmental Design has designated 2 students for academic excellence. They are Patricia Hansen and Nava Hajiji. The Academic Excellence Awardee from the College of Engineering is Nathaniel Holman. Nathaniel. While they're still up here, let me just tell you the Academic Excellence Award is determined in each college by consultation with the faculty and is based on achieving an outstanding grade point average and participating in significant academic, curricular, and co-curricular projects and activities. These awardees will receive special recognition during their post-commencement ceremonies. Graduates, congratulations on these outstanding achievements. Before the college deans and I begin to confer the degrees, I would like to introduce Doug Epperson, the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. Dr. Epperson is here, and I, as Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, all of you have taken a lot of courses in both of our colleges, and we're here to honor you. Thank you. Thank you, Doug, for being here. Just a quick comment before I begin the degree conferring. Did you know only about 6% of the world's population has a college degree? Only about 1 out of 3 United States citizens has a college degree. If you're earning a master's degree today, you're in the top 10% of educational attainment in the United States. And you know what? You aren't graduating from just any university. You are graduating from? Yes, sir. All right. Okay, back to the script. The college deans and I will now begin the presentation of candidates. President Jeffrey D. Armstrong will confer the degrees. President Armstrong, I'm pleased to present Richard Savage, Director of Graduate Education, who will present the master's degree candidates.
Thank you. Phil stole my first line. I was going to say congratulations to students who've earned a master's degree. You make up only 7% of the U.S. population, little statistics correction, and 3% of the world's population. Phil and I will have to get our sources lined up later, but congratulations. It's an achievement to be proud of, but it does come with a lot of responsibility to utilize your knowledge, to change the world. This June we have 413 Cal Poly students graduating with their master's degrees, and 187 of you in the colleges here today. Faculty representing the master's degree programs, please stand and remain standing. Master's degree candidates, please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of the faculty involved with our graduate programs, I am honored to present these master's degree candidates.
Master's candidates, on the recommendation of the faculty of California Polytechnic State University, and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the master's degree appropriate to your program with all the attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Graduates and faculty, you may be seated.
President Armstrong, I'm pleased to present Christine Theodoropoulos, Dean of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design.
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, I congratulate our 294 new graduates. Our mission has been to give you the ability to advance the quality and value of the built environment. As graduates, you will become professionals who transform communities with your creative inspiration, intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, and broad inquiry. You will plan cities and regions, design landscapes and architecture, engineer building systems, and manage their construction. And through this work, you will be inventors, artists, analysts, interpreters, collaborators, advocates, and entrepreneurs. You have had a tremendous impact on our college, and we will miss you. Faculty from the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, please stand to be recognized. Bachelor's degree candidates from the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, I am honored to present these candidates for graduation.
Bachelor's degree candidates, on the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your program with all attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Graduates and faculty of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, please be seated.
President Armstrong, I'm pleased to present the Dean of the College of Engineering, Deborah Larson.
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Engineering, I'd like to welcome the nearly 1,000 baccalaureate and master's degree candidates to the profession of engineering. The College of Engineering's mission has been to prepare you for careers as day one ready engineers, ready to meet the challenges of the 21st century. As engineers and computer scientists, you will shape the future, you will serve humanity, you'll grow new economies, explore new frontiers, sustain ecosystems, and you're going to defend, secure, and build. As graduating students of Cal Poly, you have already helped to shape the future by being a part of our community. Look forward while also representing Cal Poly with professionalism, dignity, and innovation. Be forever a Cal Poly engineer, shaping a better future with every choice you make, even today. Faculty from the College of Engineering, please stand to be recognized. Bachelor degree candidates from the College of Engineering, please stand and remain standing. President Armstrong, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I am honored to present these candidates for graduation.
Bachelor's degree candidates, on the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University, I now confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your program with all attendant rights, responsibilities, and distinctions. Congratulations.
Graduates and faculty of the College of Engineering, please be seated.
Wasn't that fun? Yeah, congratulations and welcome to our newest alumni. Many of the proud supporters in the audience today have a familiar and exceptional sense of pride today. Today marks an extraordinary day for the families of Cal Poly graduates who have chosen to continue their Mustang legacy. Many of you in the audience today are Cal Poly proud alumni, and you may remember, they're up there, there's a few up there. You may remember with vivid clarity the sense of pride and excitement you felt when you graduated from Cal Poly. At this time, I would like to welcome anyone in the audience, the proud families, supporters, friends, and parents who are Cal Poly San Luis Obispo proud alumni. Please stand and be recognized. Welcome home. You are always, always part of the Mustang family. We are glad you are here. And now joining all of those folks standing are thousands of new alumni down here on the field. And at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Kirsty McPherson Boyette, President of the Cal Poly Alumni Association, who will welcome our graduating class into the company of Cal Poly alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirsty McPherson Boyette.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey, distinguished faculty, staff, family, friends, and especially the Cal Poly class of 2015. On behalf of the Cal Poly Alumni Association, it is my honor to congratulate you and welcome you to the 175,000 strong community of proud Cal Poly alumni. As I stand before you today, a fellow alumna, I can feel your Cal Poly pride. It's written on your faces and of those of your family and friends who are here to support you today. Today is a day to feel Cal Poly proud. Cal Poly proud is a result of learn by doing. It's what sets us apart from our peers. It fuels our futures. It opens doors. It inspires us to make great things possible. And it lives on outside these walls, beyond this campus, and throughout the world. The Cal Poly Alumni Association will keep you connected to this university and this feeling of pride. It is my pleasure to welcome you. Membership is free to all alumni, so I encourage you to find a chapter near you and stay connected to your fellow Mustangs. Thank you and congratulations. I would now like to ask your ASI President, Joy Sullivan, to return to the podium. Graduates, as President of the Alumni Association, it is my distinct pleasure to lead you in a special part of today's celebration and present each of you with a Cal Poly Proud pin as a gift from your fellow alumni. Please remove the Cal Poly Proud pin from your bags. Can you please stand? As I now turn to pin Joy, I invite you to assist in pinning your fellow graduates seated next to you. As you pin your neighbor, and as you embark on your next journey, remember that Cal Poly will always be your home. Thank you and congratulations, graduates.
may be seated. Congratulations, graduates. You did it. You made it. And you're almost to the end of the ceremony. I would just like to offer a few words of wisdom and also join you in thanking some individuals. Do you remember your first days on campus? Seeing your dorm room for the first time? Walking across campus with the other wowies? Do you remember meeting that person for the first time when you just became best friends? Do you remember that? Could you imagine today, that first day you arrived? Well, you're here. You did it. And this is a special day for myself and my wife Sharon, as you are the first class where we've made this journey together. If you were a freshman in 2011, we started at the same time, as Keith likes to put it, from wow to now. So congratulations. Speaking of making this journey together, we must recognize the outstanding faculty and staff who make up Cal Poly. They have worked hard to teach you, to protect you, to feed you, to support you, and inspire you. They have dedicated their professional lives to your success. Will our faculty and staff in attendance please stand, or if you can, or wave? Please join me, graduates, in saying thank you and applauding their commitment. Faculty, staff, please stand. Thank you, faculty and staff. Graduates, we also need to recognize your strongest supporters, the people who have given their boundless love, encouragement, and yes, financial support. You're supposed to really applaud over that one. All right. That's much better. That's much better. Your graduation today is their achievement also. Will all of the parents, grandparents, siblings, spouses, partners, and other family supporters please stand if you can, or wave. Again, we say thank you and we applaud you. Thank you. Parents and supporters, as well as graduates, we all want you to come back in the years ahead. Graduates, in a functional way, today is an end. You went to class, you passed the exams, you earned the credits you need, and now you're going to load up the suitcases and cars and drive or fly away. But as Blake said, today is just the beginning. What adventures and what successes await you in your life? I like that point of the who decisions as well. We have high expectations for you, graduates. I know that can create a bit of anxiety. But you know what? You're ready. You're prepared for what life will bring. Things won't always go your way, and life surely won't always be fair. And as Joy said, you have and you will continue to make mistakes. That's not failure, it's called experience. It's called learn by doing. And as a Mustang, you know how to learn from experience. You know how to learn from failure. You are Mustangs. Congratulations. There's another important part, as you're not alone in this journey with the faculty, staff, and the parents, all that we've mentioned, all the supporters, but you now have a permanent bond with Cal Poly. which means you have a permanent bond with every Mustang who has come before you and who will come after you. From this day forward, you are forever part of the Mustang family. You are Mustangs forever. That's who you are. Congratulations again, graduates. Along with that goes that being a Cal Poly alum is a very real and tangible benefit to you individually for the rest of your life. Our alumni have forged a reputation of excellence and success because of the manner in which they have made their way in the world. You have inherited that reputation, and it will serve you well. I am confident that you are prepared to follow in their footsteps. Through your accomplishments and good works, you will further enhance Cal Poly's reputation, and you will make us all again, over and over, Cal Poly proud. Your degree comes with responsibilities. We are counting on you to share your experiences as a mentor to future Cal Poly students. Help them find internships. Urge your company to tap into Cal Poly's expertise and be an advocate for Cal Poly among your friends and employers. As Dr. Laver said earlier, we are counting on you to give back when, not if, success comes. Be generous in investing your time, talent, and resources to improve the world, to make people's lives better, and to support the institutions that have made a difference in your life. That means Cal Poly, and by the way, we want you all to come home and see us often. The people of California and the family and friends with you here today have invested greatly in you. We are counting on you to become the engaged citizens that our nation and our communities need to sustain our democracy. We are counting on you to think creatively, to solve tough problems, to invent new things, to lead our nation's progress. We are counting on you to care about something larger than yourselves. We're asking a lot, I know. But graduates, we ask so much of you for one simple reason. We know that you can do it. You're Mustangs forever, and you are ready. Congratulations. Now, graduates, there's one more very important thing that you need to do, and this is very cool. Please stand. Are you ready for this? So what you need to do now, as graduates, move the tassel on your cap from the right side to the left. This is the final indication that you are a graduate of Cal Poly and a Mustang forever and a member of the Cal Poly family. Family members, friends, faculty, and staff, on behalf of Cal Poly, I present to you the class of 2015. Congratulations!
That was pretty awesome. Congratulations to the class of 2015. You have made it. You are now alumni. We are very, very proud of you. We will now conclude our program with the recessional after the singing of the alma mater. I ask that all graduates and guests please remain seated until the President's Party has exited the stadium. Graduates, supporters, family members, faculty, and staff, it is a great honor to wish each of you my personal success and congratulations. We wish you every success in the future. Graduates, stand back up. I didn't tell you to sit down. Please locate the alma mater located on page 6 of your programs and rise for the singing of All Hail Green and Gold.
and the stalwart sons of